Go ahead.
Okay, I dug up a few artifacts from my past. Star Trek convention that I went to many moons ago for our backdrop here. And this was the Enterprise collection. This is the last release that they came out with for first edition. It came in this little plastic pouch like this, and that's how it was shipped to me. And there was such a delay after I had ordered this. You had to order it through Decipher's website, the company that made the game itself. There was such a delay that I contacted them and asked, hey, where is it? And they were apologetic, sent me one in the mail right away, and then a little while later, the original order, I guess, processed, and I ended up receiving two. So that was a good deal. I got two for the price of one, and I'm not complaining at all about that. This last set, the whole game, when it launched in '94, was based around Star Trek The Next Generation. A little while later, they added Deep Space Nine characters. That was sort of getting into the heyday of the game. They added in the original series, Kirk and Enterprise, this version of Kirk. And then towards the end, they brought in the Voyager series as well. And their last full set that they released in booster packs was based around the movies. That was around 2002, I believe. I'd have to double check, but maybe, yeah, around there. And then they transferred it over to a second edition. And second edition was different, and I never got into as much. Wixaban says that this set came out in 2005, although I remember the ordering process starting well before that, and I'm not sure exactly when I finally received them. But these are based off this is the only cards for first edition off of Star Trek Enterprise. And this is the exact order that they are in there. I opened one, and I kept one sealed. They're all foils. Here's the Starfleet phaser pistol. Revisionist history. Now you can see the text for the title is a little bit off-centered. Most of these that I've seen pictures of online, they're all like that, but not always to the same degree. So, temporal shifting. This card, if you had a bunch of them, could be a good engine, because that player targets player. That player can choose to either discard 3 cards from their hand or discard 1 alternate universe card, which these are. If that player discards an alternate universe card, they may draw up to 4 cards. So you can use it to force someone to discard cards or to draw more cards yourself. If you have a bunch of them, you could cycle this and really get things going with these. Here's the headquarters card. This is for Starfleet. So this is before the Federation of Planets had happened. And then you're into the characters for the series. So here's Charles Tucker III. They've all got a fairly good set of skills, but because this was the only set that included Starfleet, Elizabeth Cutler, the card pool you have to work with to build a deck would be extremely limited. Even with 2 sets, I hemmed and hawed about building a deck and never actually thought it would be worthwhile to actually attempt it. I'm curious if anyone has. Please let me know in the comments. I would love to know how it plays to actually build a deck based around primarily these cards here and things that would work with them. Hoshi Sato, Jeremy Lucas. Here's the captain, Jonathan Archer. People used to make jokes about it. The actor was famously at that time from Quantum Leap and jumping into Star Trek. So, but from what little I remember of the series, I didn't pay attention to it for too long. I was busy with university at the time. There were some interesting character moments. Some of the highlight characters. Maxwell Forrest, the Doctor, Phlox, to Paul, the Vulcan member of the crew, Travis Merriweather, and here's the Enterprise version from NX Classic from the show Star Trek Enterprise. And this ship gets is attributes +1 for each Federation big star you have aboard it. So its stats start very small to begin with, 6, 4, 5, but +1 each for each Federation big star. So Archer is 1, DePaul is 1, Merriweather, Malcolm Reed, Sato, and Charles Tucker, and Maxwell. So you could get up to 6 or 7 +7 each to each stat. Potentially would make this quite a strong ship if you got them all on board. And on top of that, Archer, who's the captain, can download Captain's Log, which would give it another +3 to weapons and shields. So it's possible to get this going to a substantial ship. And then the last card is a tactic card, DePaul Sung Maneuver. Not the strongest tactic I've ever seen, but tactics aren't regularly played with most of the people I've played with, unless you're building a specifically battle-themed deck. The combat rules for Starfleet, I would have to look that up. I don't know if it's the same as the Federation, where they can't initiate attacks, or whether they would fall under the default rules where they just can't attack their own affiliation, but could attack another one. That would make them actually, would give them a lot more options if they could do that. In any case, these cards are quite hard to find now, and I've been sitting on these for quite some time, like I say, with the whole second sealed set still. And there's definitely a good amount of skills there to work with. So I think this would be fun to try someday, but I've never actually done it, and I just think it's a neat oddity. I love Star Trek, and this series was sort of the end of the big run when I was getting through my teens, and by this point, like I said, I was at university, and a lot of life changes shifting, and wasn't paying as close attention to the shows, but it's always been an interesting point, both in terms of the collectible card game, which I enjoyed quite a bit, and what few memories I do have from the TV series at that point. So I just wanted to share this, and I couldn't find much information when I was looking around on YouTube before, but hopefully that can change and we can share some ideas. And if anyone has tried it, again, I would love to know how this plays out as an affiliation to build a deck around. I may try it myself one day, but yeah, it's a very, very cool little piece of history in the game, being that last first edition release, which was sadly, while they were still doing second edition, but getting towards the end of Decipher's run, as they were slowly collapsing as a company after their unfortunate embezzlement problems and things like that had gone on. But the game itself was quite good and quite memorable, and to this day I still enjoy pulling it out from time to time and having a game, or just thinking about strategies. In any case, I hope you enjoy this, and have a good day.